Conservative, not bitter talk radio. Be advised that the content of this program has been documented to prevent and even cure liberalism, and listening may cause you to lean to the right. Here's your conservative, but not bitter host, Todd Huff.
Well, that is right. You are listening to the home of conservative, not bitter talk, hour number 2 of our program on YouTube. Or also listening on radio or as a podcast or wherever you're listening. It's good to have you. Thank you for joining us. Talked last hour about these demands that were being made by the radical anarchists, by the occupiers, by the insurgents in the city of Seattle. Seattle has, in fact, fallen to the radicals. The mayor is cool with it. The mayor thinks that these folks are Jenny Durkin, Democrat, surprisingly. She's cool with the protesters. She thinks that they're exercising their patriotic duty. I'm sure that occupying a city will be viewed as some radical leftists as simple protest, right? You put up barricades, you demand that police get out, the police leave. You call it Chaz, the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. You put up barricades. There's a bunch of peaceful protesters now pushing barricades through the streets on Fox News. Nonsense is what we're dealing with here. Absolute anarchy, nonsense. It's an insurgency. When you use violence or the threat of violence, this is the definition, folks, of terrorism. When you use violence, the threat of violence to achieve a political end, that is the definition, the very definition of terrorism, domestic terrorism. And that's what we're watching here. Trump says enough. If you don't do it, I'll take care of it. And Trump isn't going to allow this to take place. What's going to happen? I mean, you start thinking ahead to that. The mayor not responding, siding effectively with the protesters, at least agreeing with the protesters. I mean, this is nuts. This is truly nuts. Only does this make sense in today's through the lens of a very morally bankrupt worldview. Only does this make sense from that perspective. This is anarchy. This is chaos. This is a fundamental responsibility of our federal government, of our government, and the federal government's role to put down rebellions. And this is what we're dealing with. We're talking about open rebellion. We're talking about that in the city of Seattle, and I'm sure, look, we're probably not far from that in other places as well. From peaceful protesters, right? That's what we're told. And the protesters are angry that they're not allowed to express themselves. This is not protest. This is anarchy. This is an insurgency. And again, this group shouldn't be confused with those who protest, peaceably in cities around the country. But these are the rioters who are using this opportunity. I've gone through a list of, not the exclusive list, I posted on Facebook too, but their demands. They don't want, they want the complete abolition, for example, of imprisonment. Their 13th point in this 30-point, it reminds me, this actually reminded me this morning of The Office. Michael Scott travels to, I forget where he traveled to. It was New York City. They had a shareholders meeting for Dunder Mifflin, and Michael Scott was up on stage with the executive team. He was actually honored. He was honored as a regional manager that was doing a good job, and of course the crowd was tepidly clapping because they were upset. The shareholders were upset as to why Dunder Mifflin the leadership was driving the business into the ground. And as he was walking off stage, Michael Scott, not liking to be booed, played by Steve Carell, by the way. Steve Carell, who I like as an actor, is one of these goofballs who's, given money to bail out rioters, calling them protesters. Just the amount of just the amount of people are totally confused by this, just throwing money at this, wanting to be on the right side politically, people in Hollywood and so forth, empowering radical rioters and anarchists. That's what they're empowering. But anyway, played by Steve Carell. I love the show. One of the, probably in my opinion, one of the best characters, if not the best character ever in a television series, up there with Kramer from Seinfeld. But Michael Scott, as he's walking off that stage, grabs the microphone and says, we got a 30-point plan. 30-point plan, 30 days, one point per day. That's what we're going to do. And then he does a spin and a thumbs up to the crowd. And the crowd goes wild. Right? I can picture this scene in my head. I'm a big fan of The Office. I love just thinking about Michael Scott doing this. But that's what I think about. 30-point plan here, Antifa, except for they don't have the jovial spirit of Michael Scott. They don't have the fun-loving, want to make all things good. They want to see, a revolution. These are revolutionaries. These aren't just people who want to see things reformed. These are people who don't understand why we have prisons. These are people that don't understand why we have law enforcement agencies. These are people that assume just because you're in prison convicted of a violent crime, if you're a black American, that you are there because of racial injustice. This is patently absurd and ridiculous. It is absurd and ridiculous to assume that that is the case. Now, I'm not suggesting that's never been the case or that can't be the case. And in those instances, that's reprehensible and something needs to be done. But we have examples where that has been done. In fact, you look at what Trump did with his prison reform led to, he enacted some reforms to our prison criminal justice system. Those are good steps, right? But to say that there's no value in prisons, to say that there's no value in law enforcement, to say that you want to dismantle them, is crazy talk. It really is. It's truly insane. And the only way to further this narrative is to take control of a city, a radical leftist city. If Seattle's not, far enough to the insane side of the equation for you, then I don't think you can live anywhere. I don't think, and I understand from that perspective, they've got to change this nation fundamentally, because if they can't get along in Seattle with some of the nonsense that we hear coming from up there, they can't make it anywhere in this nation. So, but this is not just about police and reforming criminal justice or abolishing things. This is also about socialized health and medicine for the city of Seattle. They want the funds that have been appropriated to the police department to, of course, be completely cut, because law enforcement apparently will be unnecessary, even though the city is now being led by a bunch of violent, radical domestic terrorists who have, become insurgents in the city of Seattle. Police will no longer be necessary, so they'll literally need $0 and 0 cents in that city. So that money can be then applied to socialized health and medicine. Also can be applied to free public housing, because, as they say, housing is a right, not a privilege. I've been through this before. A right is something that you have inherently as a human being, given to you by God. It does not require anyone else to do anything for you. That's not what a right is. Doesn't mean that that's not something we should strive for. I'm not suggesting that there should be no cooperation among individuals. I'm a big believer in free enterprise and for people to be able to engage in commerce to improve the quality of their lives, including housing, right? But to say it's a right is something different from saying that it's just simply good. If everything that's good is a right, and suddenly we all have a right, using the logic of the left, to go into a steakhouse downtown and grab a steak because it's good. It's good to have a steak dinner. Now, for some will vehemently disagree because it's not vegan, but just for the sake of this analogy, I think it's good. So therefore, all good things are rights according to some of the folks in the radical left. Housing, of course, is a good thing. Healthcare is a good thing, and we should strive as a society to do this. But it's different to say How do we find ways to make this as function as well as possible, healthcare or housing or whatever, using creative resources in the at our disposal versus calling it a right, because we have to understand what a right is, or suddenly if everything's a right, then nothing's a right. But there are fundamentally things that are rights in America, but that does not include housing, although this group says that it does. Public education, they also say, to decrease, that's what the money should be used for. They don't say that public education is a right. Maybe they just assume that we all believe that. Naturalization services for immigrants to the United States living here undocumented. We demand that they be called undocumented because no person is illegal. Well, it depends, I guess. I think that they would, if someone deems that their unborn child is unwanted and that they claim that they should be able to end that unborn child's life, and someone else says, I want to defend that life, I think somebody out there is crazy enough to say that life is illegal because the mother has declared it unwanted. So, anyway, but the folks are illegal. If you're here illegally, you're an illegal alien. That's not an inappropriate term. No one's saying the person is illegal. They are an alien. That means they are not, this is not their home. They're here illegally. It's the action that makes them illegal. These little word games. Undocumented. Of course they're undocumented. There's no documents when you're not doing something legally. In fact, I've actually been looking online for an ATV a couple of times. In fact, I might find myself over at Freegie's auction here even later today looking at a couple that they have. Anyway, but I didn't know this. We had three-wheelers growing up when we were younger, and so I didn't really even think about a title. Now, I guess sometimes they don't have titles, some of these, dirt bikes, ATVs, but it's not uncommon for them to have a title. So you see questions from people when they see something listed online, do you have the title, sort of thing. The title proves that it's legal, right? The documentation. If it's a stolen ATV that's being sold online or whatever, stolen, or maybe it's something that was traded for drugs, or who knows, right? Who knows how some of these, I don't live in that world. I don't know what people do. Don't even want to know. But the point is, if it doesn't have paperwork, there's not going to be, if it's an illegal sale of a four-wheeler, there's not going to be documentation, right? It's undocumented ATV. So it's the same stinking thing. They just want to get us to thinking about these, as it's some sort of clerical error. The reason that someone's here in this country illegally is because of some clerical error. No, it's happened because they broke the law. That's what that's about. Anyway, so you can read this. This reads a lot like the leftist, platform. Some of these things that they're demanding. Rent control, for example, being demanded. They're wanting to restore the funding for arts and culture. Free college for the people of the state of Washington. Due to the overwhelming effect that education has on economic success. So you need to give everybody free college. I'm not going to go through all these. There's still a lot more. 30 points, 30 days. I don't know if there's 1 point a day. Maybe they should do that like Michael Scott. We can have this wrapped up by July 12th. Never know. But it's time to take a break. So I want to shift gears a tad bit. I want to talk a little bit. I talked about this off the top, or mentioned this off the top. I want to talk about the city of Camden, New Jersey. And I want to talk about what they did in relation to their police force, and how we're being misled into believing that, hey, these radicals in Minneapolis, they're just promoting an idea that's already been tried. It's worked in Camden, New Jersey. It's actually made things better. This may be the solution. But folks, that's not at all what's going on, and I'll explain that when we get back. Quick break, listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I am your host, Todd Huff, back in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
Hi, my name is John Swadner, Sales Director of the Todd Huff Show. As a listener of the program, you know the show is growing. 4 years ago, it began as a podcast in a closet. Today, it's a 2-hour show that airs during morning drive in Indy and in Utah, and we're just scratching the surface. Todd brought me on board to help the show and our advertisers grow. That's why I'm specifically looking for partners who are a good fit to advertise with us. Would that be you? To learn more about what advertising would look like and to determine if it's a good fit for your business, shoot me an email to john@toddhuffshow.com. And be sure to ask me about some of our special packages that will save you up to 40%. Email john@toddhuffshow.com. Shoot me an email today.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200 $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, Freije, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
Ever wondered what shooting a real machine gun feels like? At Indy Trading Post, you can have an awesome and safe shooting experience in our family-friendly environment. Firing a weapon on full auto is something you will always remember. Schedule some range time today and let Indy Trading Post give you the real machine gun shooting experience. We guarantee you'll have a blast. Give us a call at 317-782-4867 or schedule your range time at fullautoindy.com.
Ever ask yourself, what does my business insurance actually cover? Well, at AIA and Avon, we think you deserve to know. AIA is focused on earning your trust. We've found that when we educate our clients and truly listen to them, they allow us to work alongside them to put together the insurance plan they need. Whether your business is big or small, give AIA a call, 317-718-1747, or find out what we can do for you at AIA4lowrates.com. Advertisement sponsored by Grange Insurance.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
Welcome back. All right, so I mentioned that one of the things that we're hearing in the media when we hear these radical leftists in the city of Minneapolis telling us how The idea of dismantling police it's been done before. This is what they want you to believe. It's not really that radical. Because you got to think, this is an election year. I think I saw a poll. I'm going from memory here, so don't hold me specifically to the numbers, but I'm pretty sure I saw that 80% of Americans, 80% of Americans, 80, are actually in favor of police budgets staying the same or even increasing. So that's 4 out of every 5 people, in case someone is listening today who's been taught on socialist math, Bernie Sanders type of math. 4 out of 5 people think that police budgets should stay the same or increase, not 100% cuts. And so, as crazy as folks like Nancy Pelosi are, they're very good political strategists. That's what they are. So all the other stuff, all the kneeling in the Capitol, wearing the kente cloth, that's all dramatic. That's for optics. That is for political consumption. There's really nothing real going on. What's real, the real thing that's going on is their desire to accumulate more power and control, less liberty in our society. That's what the movement is. That's what liberalism, radical leftism takes us towards. And so all these everything is designed, everything that she does is designed to further that cause. So she wants the optics. They understand the value of optics is what I'm saying. Now, it's bad political theater. It's very bad whenever we see people kneeling in the Capitol and using as a prop the African kente cloth. But of course, there's no harm done because the media is not going to, if Trump did this, you can only imagine. If Trump walks out to the podium wearing the kente cloth, you can only imagine what that would look like, what that would, the results that would create, the reactions. So they know that it's not politically wise right now. They know that people are not in favor of these radical ideas. So they have to start backtracking, right? Biden's on record as saying he's not in favor of this. Nancy Pelosi's trying to reframe it. They think, oh crap, we've gotten ourselves into a position, into a narrative that's going to hurt us in November. If Trump makes this about, his being in favor of law and order, and we are tied to Antifa, and we are tied to the rioters, and we are tied to the protests, we're the face of this, that's not going to be a good optic. That's going to cause some problems. And so they try to fight back in multiple ways. They do this in a variety of ways. And one of those ways is to get you to think that it's really not that radical of an idea. And so what do? They come up with an example. They suddenly find an example. CNN here, good old friends at CNN, headline, "This city disbanded its police department 7 years ago. Here's what happened next." So let me explain to you, and I know we've got some folks who are quite studious out there, and you probably already know this, but one of the things that they always do, we've even touched on this indirectly. We don't come to each show with a theme. Sometimes they just naturally happen because the Democrat Party, has a predictable series of steps and ways that it responds to things. And so it happens naturally. And when you talk about it, the theme just comes up because they're doing it. They're reading from their playbook and acting. And one of the things that they do, and the media, the Democrat Party and the media have a playbook. And we see that every single day. But look at what they do here. This city disbanded. You see what they did here? What's the word that they used in Minneapolis? Dismantled. That's the first thing they do, is they try to do a bait and switch. They try to soften the blow by changing the words, changing the terminology, right? That's why they want to change, for example, illegal alien to undocumented worker. Illegal alien sounds, ooh, we don't want that. But undocumented worker, man, this is a guy that just forgot his driver's license. Social Security card. Oh, he doesn't have one? Oh, he doesn't have one because he entered this country illegally? Oh, he's not from here. He's not native to here, which could mean you're also an alien. He's here illegally as someone that isn't rightfully supposed to be here. So which of those two things is more accurate, I might ask you. But then they say, but no person's illegal. Okay, well, what makes the person an illegal alien is they're entering this country illegally. That's the part that makes this illegal. We talked about last hour as well, Islamic terrorism. People say, well, now you're demonizing an entire faith. Well, it's the terrorism part we're talking about, and it's tied to Islamic beliefs because that's what the leaders of that movement tell us. They specifically tell us they're carrying out these acts of terror for their Islamic beliefs. Now, that may be incorrect, and we can have that debate, but they're specifically telling us why they're doing that. And so, but the Democrats and the media try to change these words, soften the blow. So dismantling becomes disbanded. Now they can talk about what happened in Camden because Camden did not dismantle their police department. But see, the article wants you to think here at CNN that they did the same thing Minnesota's talking about doing. What's the big deal? This isn't that radical because, hey, we got a city that's run by Democrats. Democrat mayor, Democrat city council, Democrat governor, Democrat attorney general, right? They can't have this all this blame laid at the feet of Democrats. So suddenly these ideas and solutions from these radical leftists, they don't want you to think are that far from reality. So, but listen to this. This is even if you read this article, you'll see what I'm saying. Last week, Minneapolis officials confirmed they were considering a fairly rare course of action, disbanding the city police department. That is false, folks. That is fake news. They want to dismantle. See, by disbanding, what they want you to think is we want to get rid of all of those officers who are bad, because this is what Camden basically did, and then bring in people that we think can execute law enforcement activities the right way. That is not what they want. In fact, they tell us we don't even know what the plan is. We'll figure it out as we go. I mean, it's remarkable what they're saying. No one seems to find this problematic or troubling besides conservative, rational voices, but no one in the media, no one in the Democrat Party. Now, they want to distance themselves from this, but they don't want to demonize it because they know that the percentage of their base is really on board with this radical nonsense. This article continues, it's not the first locale to break up a department, but no cities as populous have ever attempted it. Minneapolis City Council members haven't specified what or who will replace it if the department disbands. Again, this is not accurate. They want to change the justice system. They don't want people carrying guns who can enforce the law. They don't want people carrying handcuffs. They want something else. I don't know what it is. They don't know what it is. Not my job to give them ideas. I'm telling them this is nuts. This is dangerous. This is flawed. This is broken. Article continues here, and I'm going to take a break, but Camden, New Jersey may be the closest thing to a case study they can get. The closest thing, but there's no synonymous thing. I can assure you of that. The city, home to a population about 17% of Minneapolis' size, dissolved its police department in 2012 and replaced it. You see what they did here? And replaced it with an entirely new one after corruption rendered the existing agency unfixable. So basically what we had was a mass firing. And if you read in this article a little further, 7 years after the old department was booted, around 100 officers were rehired. It's just like they restructured. They tell us, now wait a minute, they're telling us they don't want reform. They want it dismantled. It's not disbanded. It's not get us better cops. No. Do not fall for this nonsense. They want a dismantling of the police force. They want a dismantling of our system of justice. They don't want this. They want something else. They don't know what they want. They want a bunch of counselors answering 911 calls. That's really reassuring. Hey, can you send someone to the scene of the crime? Nope. but I can counsel you over. And I'm not bad-mouthing counseling. Don't misunderstand me. But I also wouldn't, if someone needs counseling help and they open the door and they see Chuck Liddell in there ready to do some MMA act. I love MMA, but there's a reason we have specific, people, skill sets, and, a specific solution for different problems. And if you open up your counseling door and you see Chuck Liddell, it's a bad example for, let's see, what's a current fighter? I'm thinking of, let's say it's, doesn't matter. I can't even think of a fighter right now. And I'm a fan. Just got all fired up here with this. But you open up the door and you see Conor McGregor, and he's going to help you work through your problems. Right? I mean, what the heck? I'd love to train with Conor McGregor. Athletic, quick, dominant fighter, but look, he's not there to counsel. Likewise, counselors aren't there to stop people who, to be inserted during a very vulnerable time. You need people that can secure an environment and protect and make sure that there's no more threat. Then there's room for counseling. But what the heck are we talking about here? Some of these things that they say, they literally live in a fantasy world. They live in a fantasy world. They want to release people from prison. They don't want prisons. They don't want laws. Todd, why would we have prisons when we have no laws? What would they be in prison for if they weren't breaking laws? The laws don't exist. Right? Everybody's just going to get along. I mean, it's crazy talk. It's beyond my ability to even explain to you how stupid this is. But the important point here, what Minneapolis is wanting to do is not at all what Camden, New Jersey did. Do not fall for this. This is a way to soften the blow. This is a way to make you think, oh, that's really not that radical of an idea. Baloney. It's a radically insane idea to completely abolish police forces, especially when our cities are burning. And I have to take a break. You're listening to Conservative, Not Better Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Like what you hear on Todd's show? Why not get more by signing up for Todd's free Semi-Sweet Morsels of Truth newsletter? To subscribe, visit toddhuffshow.com/subscribe or text HUFF to 31996.
Business leaders, are your employees satisfied with their jobs? Do they enjoy coming to work and feel valued? Workforce Chaplains can help. Locally owned, we work with organizations to provide holistic care to their employees. I'm Marcus Schrader, president of Workforce Chaplains, and we offer your team a 24/7 support system that positively affects your company's culture and productivity. With our personalized pricing and diverse support system, we handle the issues that you wish you had time for. To learn more, visit us at workforcechaplains.com.
Outside of the federal government, no one likes losing money. Any amount of money, not just the $6 billion the State Department lost. And what makes losing money worse is knowing that we could have done something to stop it. Well, if you have an inefficient furnace, a toilet that won't stop running, or a leaky faucet, you can do something about it. You can call the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. Call 317-831-5279 or visit economyheatingandair.com.
Hi, I'm Greg Hubler from Greg Hubler Chevrolet. You know, a promise can get lost in a big city, but in a smaller town, a promise made had better be a promise kept. That's why the Greg Hubler Promise covers every vehicle we sell. All new Chevys receive a 3-year, 45,000-mile scheduled maintenance, plus complimentary roadside assistance and a free car wash with every visit. A promise made is a promise kept. Stop by Greg Hubler Chevy today or visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
You rely on your vehicle every day. It's not a member of the family, but you spend as much time with it as most family members. You wouldn't take your family to just any doctor, so don't trust your vehicle to just any repair service. At Raymond's Auto and Truck Repair in Plainfield, we have well-trained, caring technicians that have the expertise to get you back on the road. For 25 years, we've been servicing personal, commercial, and fleet vehicles. Give us a call at 317-838-7112 for the car service you deserve.
Are you an electrician, plumber, or handyman looking for an 8-to-5 job that pays you what you're worth? Copper Ridge Home Services wants you. Our veteran-owned family business offers holiday pay, weekends off, and on-site training for entry-level positions. Our team is growing, so if you have a can-do attitude, we want you to be part of that growth. Ready for a change? Give Copper Ridge a call at 317-839-6100. That's 317-839-6100. Copper Ridge Home Services. We value your time.
I love my community, and I wanted to do more to make a difference with my hard-earned dollars. I wanted to make an impact and help shape our future and our county. So I gave money to the Community Foundation of Morgan County. More than just charitable giving, the money I donate is tracked and measured so every dollar is held accountable. It's a social return on your investment. Why don't you join me in donating at cfmconline.org? That's cfmconline.org. Philanthropy with measurable impact.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Wallace Construction is a family-owned business with 45 years' experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. At Wallace Construction, our wide variety of experience and top-notch customer service have helped us build a strong reputation in central Indiana. But we don't rest on that reputation. We build it, one job at a time. If you have an upcoming project, call us at 317-422-5356. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356, and ask for Richard or Roger.
Welcome back. Talking with Oz here. Apparently the only places that you can catch or transmit COVID is at a Trump rally or church. You can't transmit it during a protest. I think the virus, we were told originally the virus doesn't care. It doesn't care if you're black or white. It doesn't care if you're rich or poor. It doesn't care if you're Republican or Democrat. It doesn't care if you're male or female. Although it appears this virus might be sexist, targeting men a little bit more strongly than women. I don't know if there's been a full investigation into that or not. But look, in all seriousness here, they tell us. Have you noticed this? Now, I know that there's places that COVID is working its way back into the news, and there's states that are seeing a spike. Actually, a lot of states are not. A lot of states are seeing dramatic decreases. Indiana's in that group. But some states further to the west, I've seen Arizona. I read Arizona's at 83%. And, of course, who knows? You don't know if you're being told true information here. And that's deserved, media. We don't trust you because you're professional deceivers, just for the record, most of you. Some of you are not, as Trump says. Some of you are great people, but many of you nasty, nasty individuals. Look at them back here. They got their cameras. They got their red light on. They got to cover this. They hate it. CNN, fake news. CNN, Jim Acosta. We just read a fake news story last segment trying to compare what Minneapolis wants to do with Camden, New Jersey. Now, Camden, New Jersey went with more of a regional force versus a city force, but the point is that they didn't do away with police. They didn't say, we don't know what we're going to do. In fact, I went back and read the articles from 2012. At no point did it say, we have no idea what we're going to do about enforcing the law in the city of Camden. Instead, we're going to disband our police force, not dismantle it. We still want law enforcement. We want a regional force. It is a lie to suggest that's what Minneapolis, specifically Minneapolis. Now, they may end up there because they don't know what solution they're going to come up with. But the argument there is to do away with law enforcement. They want to use, I don't want to make this too simple for them, but If you're going to have 0% of funding for something, you want to defund the police. I mean, what do people think is going to replace it? A bunch of people that are going to want to work for free and put their lives in danger? I know that no lives will be in danger because the only thing apparently that's threatening lives in the minds of some people is police, which of course there's bad examples and terrible situations, but that doesn't mean that that's common. It's actually much more common for there to be violence elsewhere, that police come in and actually, stop and help be part of the process that brings the perpetrators of evil to justice. But back to this COVID thing. I mean, the only place you can apparently get it is at a Trump rally or at church. These are the two things. Have you noticed this? The two things that people get most upset about. I see people on social media. Can't believe these churches are gathering. Okay. Meanwhile, there's, hundreds or whatever of people at Walmart. What if I see my church members at Walmart? What if we hold church services at Walmart? What if they hold a Trump rally at Walmart? Would it suddenly be not? Oz likes that. Oz thinks if we hold a Trump rally at Walmart, just don't let Trump see don't let him see a product that's been imported from China. He'll go off for 40 minutes on China, taking advantage of us, taking advantage of our people, our workers. Bad group of people. I get along well with China, but we're not going to lose to China. China's not going to win on my watch. China. Anyway, so going to take a break here. But it's apparently the only place that some people think you can catch COVID is at a Trump rally or at church. So have the Trump rally at Walmart. I'd love that. Anyway, time out here is necessary. Come back and, waning moments of this week are already upon us. So sit tight. Continue this conversation when we get back in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
Radon is an invisible, odorless gas that kills more people than drunk driving. In fact, radon is the leading cause of lung cancer in non-smokers. Is radon threatening the health of your family? Call Radon Environmental at 317-843-0804. Radon Environmental specializes in radon testing and mitigation. The process is quick, easy, and worth it. Radon Environmental wants to make sure your family's health is not at risk. Call 317-843-0804.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
Seems like just yesterday that you couldn't find a quiet place to think in your home. Now all the kids have flown the nest and you find yourself wondering what to do with all of that extra space. This is Bruce of Bruce Richardson Realty. My team and I understand that life changes, and so do your home needs. So whether you're downsizing or upsizing, give us a call at 317-507-3285. Let us help you find the best fit for your residential or your commercial property needs. 317-507-3285.
The compassion of Christ compels us to stop what we're doing and seek that person out. I think as Jesus went, in that famous song I sang as a little kid was Zacchaeus, come down. Zacchaeus was in a tree and he wanted to engage with Jesus, but he just couldn't, and Jesus stopped and he went over to him. If we are going to live a life of compassion, the compassion of Christ, are we willing to stop and seek those who need a touch of compassion today?
The printing industry has changed a lot since we opened for business in 1931, but what our clients expect from us really hasn't changed. Quality print, fast turnaround, and competitive prices. We've learned a lot at Moeller Printing over 86 years and 3 generations. Why not put that experience to work for you? Call 317-353-2224 and mention discount code RADIO to receive 10% off your first order. Call Moeller Printing at 317-353-2224.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200 $200 back at $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freegee, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freegee, F-R-E-I-J-E, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freegee, owner and lead auctioneer at Freegee Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
Welcome back. You don't believe me that they have no idea what they're doing? Most of you do. Some of you might not. Some of you might not. We're abolishing a broken system that hasn't produced the results our community wants. Alondra Cano, one of the city council members in the city of Minneapolis, said, if you read this, I'm looking here, CBC Radio. This I think I found this on the Bongino report, but they have no idea. This is what it says at one point. While Cano admits that she doesn't have all the answers when it comes to what will replace the MPD, she doesn't have any of the answers. She doesn't have all the answers. I would say she has next to no answers. The only answer she has is that it's not going to be a police department. So this is what the article says. While Cano, again, city councilwoman in Minneapolis, admits that she doesn't have all the answers when it comes to what will replace the MPD, she says communities will be prioritized, unlike under the current policing system that has been created out of slavery and colonization. Did you know that? Our current system of policing has been created out of slavery and colonization. I have to tell you, I don't even know what she means by that. Been created out of slavery and colonization. I wonder when I read comments like this if anyone, the people that say this have any perspective or understanding as to the history of the world. I wonder if they have any idea how brutal and oppressive and terrible governments were to their people throughout history, how violent history has been, how much control people in positions of power is placed over others in society, how miserable life could be in the past under these brutal dictatorial thugs throughout history. This system, the current policing system, has been created out of slavery and colonization. That's what she said. Has no idea what she's going to do to replace it. She just knows it needs to be done away with. In fact, she also says in this article, and I got to take a break here, but she said that using the word reform, I want to make sure I get this right. You can't use the word reform. This is what she says. We need to stop using the word reform. That is a trigger word for our communities that is loaded with trauma and failed attempts at protecting the lives of people of color and African American people specifically. Reform is a trigger word. So let's dismantle. Dismantle. Words mean things, folks. They want to tear it down. They want to take it apart, disassemble it, and replace it with something that they have no idea what it is. Anyway, Oz is telling me it's time to wrap up, and I've got to do that. Come back and wrap up for the week. You're listening to Conservative Not Better Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Is it possible to be a fan of the show if you don't have the gear to prove it? Why not be safe and remove all doubt? Shop for official merchandise at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the healthcare they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
Anxiety, depression, relationship problems, past trauma. Problems rarely get better when given time. Care to Change counseling can help. Our professionals combined evidence-based care models with scripture to get you on the path to a productive life. We are here to help you make the changes you need for a healthier, happier you. Take that brave step today. Call Care to Change at 317-790-9396 or visit caretochange.org.
Ever ask yourself, what does my business insurance actually cover? Well, at AIA and Avon, we think you deserve to know. AIA is focused on earning your trust. We've found that when we educate our clients and truly listen to them, they allow us to work alongside them to put together the insurance plan they need. Whether your business is big or small, give AIA a call, 317-718-1747, or find out what we can do for you at AIA4lowrates.com. Advertisement sponsored by Grange Insurance.
Hey Indianapolis, by now you've probably heard about Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group. Jody and his team are experts at helping you prepare your personal or small business tax returns. You can count on Midwest Tax Group to get every deduction possible and work for your higher refund. And not just on this year's taxes, they'll check your prior returns for any tax savings you may have missed for free. Are you behind on filing your returns? They can file past due returns and help negotiate with the IRS too. They complete most tax returns within a week and charge an affordable flat fee, no hourly billing. And as their client, you can consult with the team at Midwest Tax Group year-round at no charge. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and Greenfield, with evening and weekend appointments available. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260. That's 317-288-5260. Or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com. Midwest Tax Group can help you more than any piece of software ever could.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
When life is hard for the women you care about, there is help with issues such as widowhood, anxiety, depression, or abuse. They don't have to go through it alone. Peace Restored is there to walk with women through the journey. Peace Restored helps women through free mentoring, counseling, and education. When life is hard, Peace Restored is there to help women you care about find hope and healing. To learn more, visit peacerestored.net.
Folks, that is about all the time we have, not just for today, but for the week. Time flies when you are having fun. So look, we've got there's other things I wanted to get to today, simply did not have the time. Biden, if I'm going to summarize really quickly, Biden I think was with Trevor Noah, I think that's who that was, who he was talking to. Biden said his biggest problem, his biggest weakness is saying what he really thinks. So I actually had it queued up to play some old Biden sound bites that I couldn't get to. One of them's not that old. I guess he clearly believes, since he only says what he thinks, people know too much about what he thinks. That's his biggest weakness, I guess, according to Biden. I guess he believes that if you don't vote for him over Trump, you ain't black, as he told Charlemagne the God. Anyway, others as well. One of my favorites, a 7-Eleven comment from a few years ago, but don't have time to get to it, guys. Thanks so much for listening. SDGC Monday. Take care.
If you own a rental property,